What up, little world? So yesterday I was talking about me being depressed and how I'm like trying to cope with it, trying to get focused on 2021. And like I said, last every time this, especially when it hits December, it like starts to really kick in for me. So my best thing is to just now. Uh, that happens every year, so I kind of have to adjust myself to that and understand that because like I said, it's now starting to be like a review of what I did in 2020, and I mean everybody could kind of understand that. Like everybody kind of had plans in 2020. I didn't, but what's crazy is like I said yesterday that I felt like 2020 had me feel like I had more cons than pros, and that's more personal than it is how I really feel sometimes. I always thought I'd be out of where I'm at mentally and physically by this time, but it's life, man. I know God will eventually, like I said, it's God's plan, right? So that's not just a Drake song. That's a real, it's a real lesson, man. Like you gotta learn that, man. God's plan, man. If God wanted me to be in this position, He's saving something for me. I don't know what it is, but saving something for me. So I'm working through it, trying to work through it as much as I can, and So, but this makes me happy, man. Like I said, this video, my podcast, this makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? So, but before I went on to what I've been doing the last couple of vids, finally, I want to talk about something that I always do, man. I talk about music a lot because I love it. I literally, I love music. You know what I'm saying? Music is, if it wasn't for music, I probably wouldn't, I don't know what the fuck I'd be doing. To kind of calm myself down or, make me think, stuff like that. So I want to talk about the albums that got me, that got my stamp of approval in 2020. This is my stamp of approval. I don't give a shit about how y'all feel. This is mine. So that being said, let's get into it. My first album was Benny the Butcher's album. If you haven't heard that album, go listen to it. The production, I think Hit Boy might be the best producer I've heard in a long time. I'm talking about like Kanye, early Kanye, Neptunes, like early Kanye, Neptunes, Timbaland type of production. Like that's what I grew up listening to. So that the way he fit those guys, like fit that album was perfect. And I thought that album was dope. And Benny, with his lyrical ability, was very decisive with the bars. He was very, very aggressive, but you understood where he was coming from. I don't want to say aggressive. That's not what I'm saying. He was passionate about what he was saying, and that's respect because this is your first album like that. People really gonna like really take in and be like, okay, all right, like, this is shit. And he did it, and he did it with such a substance that you had to just be like, he got it. Another album that I really thought was also dope was also one of his label mates, another man from Griselda, Conway the Machine. I thought his album was very dope. I saw earlier that he's bringing out the deluxe edition of it. I thought that album was very fucking dope. I think that's one of the best albums too. Dope album, man. Dope project. Lyrical ability is unmatched. It's fucking incredible. Dude, dope, man. So I fuck with Griselda heavy. Another album that I loved a lot, kind of because the Griselda dudes remind me of these dudes. The Lox album. I fuck with the Lox album extremely hard. I think the Lox album was so dope because it's been a minute since you heard all three of them together. It's been a minute since you heard all three of those guys lyrically go in, and I think that's rare in a time where it's 20 years later, and them dudes as lyrical masters at what they do, of the craft, to still go in a studio and create a project like that. Has off. I grew up on the Locks. I grew up on D Block. I grew up on, Rough Riders Anthem and, Money, Power, Respect. So anytime I get to hear those three dudes get on a song together, that's winning for me. I'm good. I don't need nothing else. Another project that was also dope. It's another person I grew up on. Joel Santana shit. Free Joel's. That shit was dope, man. Like, the project was a very thought out project. It was very good, man. I've been waiting for Joel's project since What's the Game Been Missing. so I was ready. I've been ready for Joel's album. God damn it! It was fucking past due, man. We needed one, even though it was like a mixtape. Free Joel Santana, man. That shit is so dope. Like, I listened to that project, and his lyrical ability is still there. Like, my God, like, people like that would never lose their lyrical ability. That shit was dope. I know a lot of people like, damn, nigga, you just listening a bunch of New York niggas. What's up with the South? Like, you ain't fuck with nobody from the South? Of course I fuck with people from the South. I'm from the South, bitch. Lil Baby project. Lil Baby's project, I thought, showed. I think we get it. I think, like, every decade has these four people that you could, like, know, like, yo, they're gonna be here for the next. They're leading the next people, the next generation, the next, artists and people. I feel like Lil Baby album really showed that. He showed his progression. He showed who he was as a musician and who he is as an artist going forward. I think that, I heard it on the last project, but this project really put into the head and put into my mind, like, he's there already. Like, he's in that conversation. To me, it's him, and then we gotta just see how the rest of these dudes play out for the next couple of years, because he's there already. I think he's at the table. I think he's already got his face on this decade's, Mount Rushmore, if you want to say it like that. Like, the dude is a beast at the lyrical ability, plus he knows when it's time to go in to do a hit, and when he doesn't need to do a hit, this shit is just gonna be album made. That's an album single already, and I think that he gets it. And it's rare as a young artist to see how you maneuver through that, because I don't want to give him the Drake situation. Like, I think he could be Drake. I don't want that, because I think that Drake is Drake. Nobody's gonna ever be Drake. That's like how I feel like when people be like, oh, that's the next Lil Wayne. That's never gonna be another Lil Wayne. We don't give a fuck how you want to slice it or dice it. Lil Baby is Lil Baby. I think he is the dopest new nigga in the game. Now, he's at the table already, like I said. But I'm looking forward to the next Roddy Ricch album. I'm looking forward to Carday's next album. I fuck with Carday. I'm looking forward to Lil Durk's next project. I think that's gonna be a dope one. Damn, there ain't that many. Damn, I don't really fuck with that many. I mean, if it's good, then I'll fuck with you. But it's just like, it takes a minute. Like 21 Savage, like, his shit was dope. I don't know, I'm getting old, man. I'm becoming like an old head in this shit. I don't like certain new niggas. Like, certain new niggas, I'm like, alright, I can fuck with this, but it's not that many. But Lil Baby album was dope. What's another one? Fuck, what is another one? Lord Jesus. Good God, I don't even remember. It's a lot of, damn. Lil Durk project. I just said his name and I'm like blanking. Lil Durk project. Lil Durk album was. That is the first project I've listened to in a while that made me change my mindset on what an artist can be, because I remember when Lil Durk's first single like came out. Like, I remember when he really started pushing a single, and This Ain't What They Want. I remember when that shit came out. That shit was everywhere. I remember when that shit came out. So to now see where he's at now, that's that's a hell of a, you know, difference. You know, he changed the game, and I'm looking forward to, like I said, the Voice project. I think that's gonna be a dope project, and I think he's gonna, you know, change the game with that. Like I said, 21 was project was dope. Ti project was pretty good. I can't put Ross. I wanted to put Rick Ross in this situation because I fuck with Ross. That's one of my top 5 favorite rappers of all time. But then I had to think about it. I'm like, his shit came out late last year. I can't even put his shit in it this year. That's fucked up. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of nobody. Like, Dave East project was dope. I liked it. Thought it was really like, the bars were there. I think his production's always kind of like got me a little bit fucked up. But now he found, like, I think he got the right people to work with him on that production shit. And he killed that project. That was a dope project. I fucked with a lot of songs off that project. Jadakiss did drop this year. I'm fucking blanking every time. But Jadakiss dropped this year. Jadakiss project was dope. Jadakiss shit was really dope. God damn, there ain't that many projects that I could like really physically be like, yo, them motherfucking projects like really was good this year. And every time I think about something, it's more R&B. Like, I fuck with the R&B music too, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think like Bryson Tiller project was dope. The Weeknd's project, of course, was one of my favorite projects of the year. Big Sean project. I fuck with Detroit, the mixtape. So I like when certain artists go back and rehash their previous work to see where you were then in comparison to now. Like when Ross did Port of Miami and he did Port of Miami 2, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. You know, see the growth in that. I think Detroit came out 20. I might fuck this up. 2012, 2013, like the first Detroit mixtape. I thought that shit was the dopest project, and that actually made me a Big Sean fan because, like, I didn't really like fuck with Big Sean until that project. Like, I like his songs. He was like, he's one of those. I felt like he was always one of those artists that could just do the big singles, but he couldn't really do the whole project shit. I just couldn't feel it at that time. And then he went on and did Detroit, and that whole mixtape was like, yo, this shit is good as fuck. Like, okay, he might can do the whole project. Then the next album after that was the big album that he dropped, man. It's, you know, and then that kind of changed a lot of people's perception on him. But to me, I always had him in like my top 5 like the last decade. I always felt like it was him, Drake, Kendrick, Cole, and then on any other day it could be like Meek, Nipsey, Big Crit, like Mac Miller. Like, I had a lot of other, like, that 5th slot was, but those were my top 4. That was my 4, and I knew those 4 dudes were like dope. So yeah, man. But yeah, Detroit 2 was pretty interesting to hear because to hear, him, on Detroit 2, it made a lot of sense. Because that, if you heard Detroit, if you listened to Detroit like I did, his growth in the industry, you could hear the growth in the industry. You could hear it. And it kind of, Detroit, the reason why I love Detroit so much is because, like, how Detroit 2 was. He didn't really go and try to go pull these big name artists. I mean, he got some on there, but it wasn't like, let's go get every big name artist that I've ever been around. He kept it pretty damn, concise. Like, Wale was on Detroit, the first Detroit. Wale's on Detroit too. Like, he didn't really try to go get the big name artists, which I respected a lot for Detroit too. So I thought that was a dope project. Big Sean shit was definitely one of my favorite albums for a while when it came out. Cause I could relate to it, Currency dropped so many fucking projects in a year. I don't even know how to I'm gonna just say all Currency shit. Currency dropped so many fucking projects. This shit is ridiculous. This shit is ridiculous, man. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to 2021 and what album's gonna be in 2021. I know Cole is gonna be dropping soon. I know Drake is dropping. I hope Kendrick drops. You know, Meek I hope drops. It's a lot. It's a lot of artists that I'm really looking forward to hearing in 2021, and you know, so yeah, you know, that was my album so far in 2020. I really enjoyed listening to. Uh, I got blanked like a motherfucker on certain projects because so much music I've listened to, you know, old and new, that in 2020, you know, I kind of got back into like the old music I used to like. Like I said, like a couple of episodes ago, like I got back into like old music that I grew up listening to, and I'm really like appreciating growing up in the '90s, early 2000s more and more because kids nowadays will never understand the nuances of music. Like, all they know is to jump and dance and all that shit. They don't know shit about real music, and that's the fucking problem. So hopefully in 2021 there's less hits and real fucking music. So we'll see. See y'all. See y'all. See you. So see y'all soon. Peace.